Hey guys, so today we are going to do some red armour. So to get that Blood Angels feel, as you can see I kind of did what I did last time, a bit less I have to get done in the week, but yeah, so we're going to do the classic painting the leg so you can see the scheme. You can also see where I did some extra tests on the shoulder pads so they look slightly different to the rest of it. But the other leg is kind of our goal. We've only got 4 colours today. So our main red is Abtielung's warm red. Then our shadow colour is just some burnt umber, or we could use bitter meat. Then we've got some buff and some cadmium yellow hue, lemon hue. I suppose you could use cadmium yellow, but that would be a bit stronger than the lemon hue. If you don't know, the hues give you kind of the same sort of colour as the proper cadmium, but they're not as good, I suppose. They're not as pigmented. So depending on what you're after, you might want the actual cadmium colours, which are really bright and intense, but they're also more expensive. So yeah, let's get on with the show. So here we go. So we're going to start. So I've got a classic cardboard palette you've seen in other videos. I'm just going to add a little bit of white spirits to the burnt umber, not too much, just a dab on the brush and then mix it in so it's a bit more watery. The burnt umber from Winsor & Newton tends to be quite thick out of the pot, so we're applying this where we want our shadows. It's not going to be deep enough colour just yet, so we'll go back in just so we can gradually make it stronger, because it'll be very lumpy if we used it straight out the pot, tube I suppose. So straight lines. I want it going into our shadow around here as well. Right, now just wipe off the brush a bit, straight into our red. So this is pretty much, it's been very, very lightly thinned. And here we go, starting in the middle. Now the technique I use here is straight lines. As I approach the brown, I start to naturally mix it using thin straight lines. So you've already got some of the paint off the brush by doing the middle, and as you work out, it will start to weaken on the brush, and then naturally making it easier to just blend straight away. So there we go. Now I'm not happy with the intensity of the brown over there, so just wipe the brush off a bit. Get some more of our brown. Here we go, hopefully this will be better. Get a bit darker. Now do that and just use my finger to kind of flatten it out, just run it along that edge to get the blend a bit. Now I want my lemon hue, so I kind of want it flat again. I'm going to wipe a little bit off, and then again just straight line up the middle. So you see that barely covers all, because it's not a very strong colour at all, but we actually don't want it for this to be very strong, because now we're going straight into our buff, and again we don't want too much on the brush. In that where we put the lemon hue, just gonna do a bit of a line, then wipe most of my brush off, just blend that in. and then a bit more. But this time I want to make sure I've got a bit of a thin point to do a straight line. And I can just keep doing that until I get the colour I want. There we go. Now if you're not happy with it, you can always wet your brush. There we go. Want a nice flat kind of filbert look. Yep, this is unpleasant on your brushes. This is why I'm currently using my Rosemary & Co, which is getting a bit on in years now. So I'm not too bothered about making it lose its point and flatten it out and stuff, just abuse it. So that is basically it. So I'm going to do something a bit here. So this is quite thick burnt umber now, just to really darken it down. And I'm going to add a bit of the red primer, not too much, but just kind of like in there. Just keep blending it together. And now kind of start to create a second lighting effect. Just keep blending until I get the consistency I want. And there we go. So you can see on the other leg where it's more dry. So if we're going to do, so obviously we did a straight line because it's a cylinder. And on the round kneecap we'd put the brown kind of down here, the red going mostly here, and then like a dot of white. But yeah, you just keep doing that over the armour. So you can kind of see I did a double light line on the back, followed it up through the foot, got down the middle. I just recently started to work on there. I baked the shadows deeper underneath and lighter on the top. Let's get the helmet in some sort of focus for you. So the helmet's still very wet because that was a recent painting. Yeah, so the helmet kind of like lit it up here and on this bit at the top, and then edged it a little bit. Shadow under the neck. Yeah, I will carry it on, and you can see a finished picture on my Instagram. It's giving you an idea on how to do. I hope that's giving you an idea on how to do like a red blood angel-esque how easy armour in oils, and how literally easy it is. Look at those literally straight lines you've got going across. Look at those smooth blends you've got going across. How the wonder with oils. Well, this is the wonder with oils. I hope you enjoyed that again. Well, I hope you enjoyed that again. If you did, please hit the like, possibly share if you subscribe, and possibly share if you feel up to it. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye.